Okay, so here's JupyterLab. So the first thing that we want you to do is to click on Take a Tour of JupyterLab and to kind of like read over some of the features of JupyterLab. So you can go ahead.
All right, and you want me to express my thoughts out loud, right?
You can certainly do that. That would
okay.
So
first thought, wow, the font is really small for someone who's older, whose eyes aren't the same as they used to be.
Okay.
So I'm supposed to take a tour. I see a text that looks like it might be a link that says take a tour, so I'm going to click on that.
Oh, you can just close that. That's a dictionary thing that comes up on a long press. You can just exit out. Sorry, that's...
Ooh, what is this? I better just close it. All right. So, welcome to the JupyterLab pre-alpha preview. The demo gives a pre-alpha level developer preview of the JupyterLab environment. So, being who I am, I'm not inclined to read all of this fine print, but I'm not sure what to do next, so I'm going to read on a little bit. The main area is divided into panels of tabs. Drag a tab around to split the main area in different ways. We'll try that. It seems strange to me that when I click and move a tab, all it does is just the top part of the tab moves, but it doesn't do anything. Markdown rendering in basic cell exists Jupyter. Continue. Welcome preview command palette. Try these things out from the command palette. Open a new terminal. Requires OS X or Linux.
We'll actually get to that a little bit later.
All right.
So
unclear
from
this demo what I should do next.
All right. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to have you do is to open a Python notebook.
Okay. Anyone, or are you going to tell me?
To create a new one.
Okay, so I'm in Chrome new, so I'm looking for, here we go, File. I see New Tab, so I'm going to assume that is going to create a new notebook, and it doesn't. So let's go back to the Jupyter. So obviously that menu isn't built in, so let's see if we can find out. Well, here's a little plus sign, maybe that means create new. And I see text file, folder, C notebook, Python 3 notebook, so I'll click on that. And now I believe I've created a new notebook.
Cool, okay, perfect. So in the notebook, type the following Python code, print hello world.
Well, since it said I'm in Python 3, I'm going to have to do print as a function.
All right, and then once you're done, execute the code.
All right, and I see a little play button, so I assume that, and I see output.
Great. Now open another notebook.
Okay, so because I see this tabbed interface, I would be inclined to look for something right up here with a plus sign, but I do see a plus sign here, so I'll try that. And that, interestingly, seemed to just make a new cell, so I guess I gotta come all the way back over to this plus sign. Oh, and by the way, not super intuitive that there's even a difference from this plus sign, which looks exactly like this one. But here's a new notebook.
All right. Cool. In the second notebook, type the following code, print hello SciPy. And execute it. All right. Next, arrange the two open notebooks to view them side by side.
Now I remember seeing something about being able to drag stuff, so let's see if I can just drag this over to the right. That didn't seem to do, I don't think, what I was looking for. Let's try. Interesting. Also unclear. This just may be a distaste for the fact that all of this is an application-like thing that's running in a browser, but it's a little disorienting what tabs and things are part of this app versus what's just part of the browser.
Right.
But let's see if there's somewhere if they've taken.
Yeah, I think you've got feedback.
Nope. Let's see here. Maybe there's something here. Copy the selected cells. Run the selected cells. Let's see if we have any right-click ability. About here. Nope. What do each of these things do? Well, let's try something else. So first of all, here's about, maybe this will tell me. Main area is divided into panels. Drag a tab around the area to split the main area in different ways. Drag a tab to the center of a panel to move a tab without splitting the panel. Well, let's just try some more stuff, I guess. There we go. That looks like that'll do it. I believe I've done. This says Untitled 1. This says Untitled. I think I've done what you've asked for.
Perfect. Okay. Awesome. Now go ahead and restart the kernel in the first notebook.
All right, so this was the first notebook. Okay, so this little refresh-looking icon seemed like it would be something that might do that, and when I hovered over it, I saw restart the kernel, so I'll click on that.
Great. All right, now go ahead and save.
All right, not only is that disorienting, but even how to close this little window
This is
not
actually
clear.
not part of our application. This is coming up just because of the
It's
settings on the laptop.
A laptop.
So if you just click over here, it'll go
Okay.
away. It's not our program. Sorry, thank you.
All right. Okay, so go ahead and save your Hello SciPy notebook.
So your little save icon on that tab. Unclear if it did anything.
Yeah, we've been seeing that lots. Okay. All right, now go ahead and in that notebook, make a new cell and type x equals 2 in the new cell, and then also execute that cell.
All right, so as a unintended or uninspected side effect of something else earlier, I learned how to make a new cell. And what am I supposed to put in it?
X equals 2.
X equals 2. Okay. Okay. Oh, also notice that hitting enter did not actually execute it. Go to the next one. Okay. Did you say you needed me to execute it?
Yes.
All right, well, I learned I can do this. I imagine there's got to be some key sequence that would allow me to not have to use the mouse.
Yeah, and there actually is. It's shift enter, just for future reference, I guess. But
Thank you.
sure. Okay, perfect. Next, please rename the notebook as coolnotebook.ipynb.
Okay, so my first expectation with this kind of interface would be that some kind of clicking in the name and the tab would put a cursor up there. And maybe that's unfair, but that's coming from a software developer that builds stuff like this. And the save didn't give me a save as, but if I right click, I see a save as. So you said rename it to what?
Just cool notebook.
I believe that's actually just saving to a web page.
Okay, and I do like your
Unfortunately.
Siri-like help. All right, so let's see what else I could try. How about well, any of these things? Cut, copy, paste. It still doesn't seem to do anything. So now we got to go back and find where. Oh, maybe over here. But this is kind of difficult if this is the way to do it, because now I got to figure out between these names, which I didn't yet give it a name. I've got to keep track of which belongs to which. So let's see if, there we go. All right, so here, this did work like I kind of thought it would, where I'm now put into the ability to type. So we'll name it. And what did you want it named to?
Just cool notebook.
Cool notebook.
All right, great.
And exactly what I would expect on the tab.
All right, that's good to know, definitely. Okay, next, create a new subdirectory named images in JupyterLab.
Okay, so folder would mean to me like a subdirectory, so I'll do that. And I get untitled folder without any direct ability to specify a name, so I guess now I'll have to rename it. And call it what?
Images. All right. Okay, now upload a image from the desktop to the images folder.
Alright, so I'm going to try right-clicking on images. That didn't work. Let's see what plus does. What's this right here? Looks like an upload icon. Upload files. But unclear if I do it right now, if that's going to just put me in this main directory, and I got to start by double-clicking on images, and then try that. Alright, and here seems to be an image in the main directory I started with, so we'll do that. Interestingly now, a side effect, if that actually worked, is that it put me back up.
Bug as of yesterday.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Okay, and you probably already know, but if you need to put it in your bug information, it didn't seem to actually upload the file either.
Mm-hmm.
So there's
Check one
nothing
more time.
in images.
For us.
Alright, so here I am here. Actually, and then I clicked on this, picked my file name, said open. And that time I got different behavior.
Jump into images now.
Huh, interesting.
That's maybe they're trying to fix it right now.
Possibly. As we speak.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
good software. That as soon as I find something wrong, it's being
Absolutely.
fixed as we go.
Mm-hmm.
But so interestingly, it also just now while we were talking, without I think any work from me, it popped me up again.
Right. That's the one we were noticing earlier, but before it was actually uploading the image, and now it's having trouble.
Okay.
So maybe skip the next step.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So make sure you're in your home directory and create a text file in another subdirectory.
So make a new subdirectory first.
Yes.
Alright, create new folder. Try renaming it. Go into that and do a new text file, which also seems to have a similar bug, I think, because my user interface on the left brought me back up even though I was in my subdirectory.
Mm-hmm.
But I see my file there, and my tab is open.
All right. Okay.
Also, same feedback about the extra steps that I don't seem to get, or at least it wasn't intuitive, the ability to give it a name as I'm doing it. I had to create it and then go back and rename it.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely a good feature to keep in mind. All right. Now, in the text file, go ahead and write SciPy is awesome, and then save the text file.
I'm going to expect, just being in this tab, that I can do like Command, because I'm on a Mac, Command S. Unclear if that actually saved. I didn't see actually, so
Okay.
because of my inquisitive ways, I'm going to type something else and see, do I get any visual that tells me that I have unsaved changes? And I don't seem to get any such indication, either in the tab with color or anything.
Gotcha.
So no real way to know after that I need to save, and that once I have done what I think should be saving, did it or not.
Okay.
Thank you.
Perfect. Yeah, I think that's just with the text file, because I think we might have that with something else. But okay.
There
perfect.
actually is this like a slight notification with this X. It turns into a circle, but color would help.
Yeah. Not being able to notice.
Yeah, it's
So-
too subtle.
And I don't know if it's too subtle or too small,
Mm-hmm.
right? And also, don't know if that's really a side effect of the browser or not, but if your product is running in a browser, it's sort of your problem as well.
Mhm. Right. Okay. All right. Perfect. After that, launch a Python 3 console.
I think the whole thing is weirdly zoomed out a little bit. I'm not sure. Do you want to look? I'm not sure about Max.
So here's a couple of
But doesn't
just
this look smaller
feedbacks.
than it usually does?
This isn't clear. Is this little drop down part of the plus sign, or is it something separate? But it seems to be like this is one big tab here with two little icons, and unclear why that little drop down. Except maybe that's just telling me that this tab is going to give me a sub menu. But also unclear. Oh, well, here's commands. Let's see what that's about. Terminal. So one way, I guess, to achieve what you're asking, which would perhaps take me outside of your world, is to open up a terminal and then execute Python.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're asking me to do, or is there something else I'm supposed to find?
It's separate. The console is separate from the terminal.
Yes. So yeah, the
Okay.
Python 3 console is separate from the actual terminal.
All right, so let's see what else we have. New terminal editor. Is this your help? Yes. Okay. Notebook tutorial. Let's go to frequently asked questions. So unclear on the frequently asked questions, how I can type the question I would like to ask. And so if I don't get the choice to type in a question, that is less valuable to me.
Mm-hmm.
So that just means that I can, although I guess frequently asked questions implies not, hey, how do I, or something.
Right.
All right, so I'm confused. How do I navigate around? How do I add more kernels? How can I share? How do I report a bug? Let's see if this helps at all. Check out the JupyterLab tour. All right, well, let's try that again. Now I don't remember how I got there. Frequently asked notebook tutorial. And that is indicated by gray. Mouse navigation keyboard. Alright, so I just noticed a tab with the word launcher on it. Terminal console, so this must be what we're looking for. Alright.
Perfect. Now in the console, write a is equal to 5 and execute that code.
Since you told me, I think I can do Shift Enter.
Perfect. And then now switch the console to the C kernel.
Python, interactive Python. So I'm typing help kernel in one of these commands to see, does that help? Nope. Let's see what else. Let's go back to launcher. Nothing much there. Details about object. Anything up here? Nope. Let's go back to help. Don't know where my frequently asked questions went that I just clicked on. So, oh, it must be back to this little tiny already open tab. What is JupyterLab? What is Jupyter Notebook? How do I add more kernels? Alright, so happen to hone in on the word kernels there. To add more languages to the Jupyter tab, you must install a new kernel. Installing a kernel is fairly simple. Further instructions, click this link. How can I share my notebooks? Well, this says install, not switch, but let me see if that gives me any help here. Installing Jupyter Notebook will also install the IPython kernel. To install an additional version of Python, you have both type 2. How do I install other languages like R or Julia?
So actually, other language is pre-installed. So you'll just stay inside of the notebook. Or the
Okay.
We've already installed the C kernel for you.
Alright, so, but still unclear. How do I decide which packages, configuration, usage, and projects? So let's come back to this. Did we try all these? Commands, terminal, editor, file, settings, line numbers, default mode. Alright, so this is certainly not super intuitive how to do.
Okay.
Oh, I just saw language settings. Nope, that was not yours.
Yeah, so you can actually, for this part, you can get rid of term in your command search, and then all the commands will pop up again. And then maybe that will help.
Okay, So I see new C console, unclear. Okay, so terminology. This says console, but then it says C kernel when the tab opens. So I guess I've done what you've asked for.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and close the console and open a terminal.
Okay.
All right. And increase the terminal's font size.
So I'm going to try something because I'm on a Mac, and let's see if Control Plus does that. Command Plus. And in fact, it's actually interacting with the browser font, but not your terminal font. I'm going to try and undo all that again. Let's see here. Terminal, increase font size. But didn't like that. I don't have the ability. I got to keep coming back to the menu, and generally, when you're increasing font size, you're not doing it a single increment at a time. Okay.
All right. And then last but not least, open the notebook tutorial.
So I happened to see this during my travels earlier, and just feedback there. I'm surprised that when I clicked that, all these other things opened over here. That one happened to open way over here for some reason.
Okay. All right. Well, that concludes the user test. So that's everything for you to do. Do you have any additional comments? You've already made contributed lots of information and input for us. But is there anything else that you'd like to mention about it, or?
I don't think so. Like I said, as a software developer, and an application developer, I have always been surprised / interested in the choice of this concept to run in a browser like this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's a negative or anything, but just have always been surprised by that choice. And with running in a browser comes all kinds of other stuff that we haven't even, this whole test right here has happened in Chrome because you happen to choose that.
Mm-hmm.
So unclear how different is the experience in other browsers.
Right. Definitely.
But I can see a lot of value in the fact that everybody's got this on their laptop.
Right.
And not only am I a software developer, I'm also a tool creator, and I would use this for simplifying my work in creating tools for my clients.
Right. Yeah, and that's something that JupyterLab is going to have lots of expandability into additional plugins from all kinds of other developers and stuff. I think that's the direction they're heading with it. So.
All right. Cool.